Hello, everyone. I'm North Hempstead Town Supervisor Judy Bosworth. Councilmember Viviana Russell and I would like to thank you for watching this video from our public meeting discussing the United States EPA Brownfields program. This video will provide you with insight into what transpired at the meeting, as well as proposed plans for this exciting project. This is undoubtedly an exciting opportunity for us to continue the Newcastle Renaissance. Our shared goal is to continue to revitalize and beautify undeveloped and underutilized properties, while also focusing our efforts on generating economic activity and increasing housing opportunities. Reimagining the community is something that cannot be done in a vacuum. We certainly need the input of the people who live there, as you know Newcastle best. Thank you again for tuning in and for your interest in this project. Please don't forget to provide us with your feedback at northhempsteadny.gov/Newcastle-2021. We look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
That there were a ton of good ideas, and there are some spots in the survey where if there's anything that we're not asking in the survey and you have extra ideas, you can please put it into some of the additional comments sections. So for our report back now, we'll go in a little bit different order. How about if we start with the commercial and business property owners and tenants group?
Okay, so I am the report back person. So we ended up talking about, we didn't have any other contaminated sites and we didn't have any other additional sites to bring to the table. So we ended up talking about additional uses, and the additional uses that we spoke of were for site 2, that is the loitering on Prospect Avenue by the liquor store and the Chinese store. And then we thought about, we need to find a use for that to deter the loitering and illegal activity or whatever it might be over in that corner. And then we discussed use for possibly 11, possibly hosting, whether it be one site or 2 sites of a transitional home or a transitional space for persons needing help to get back on their feet. Let's say they're homeless, because we have a homeless issue in Westbury. They do sleep on the grass or in front of our businesses, or I don't know if they sleep in front of your homes or on your streets, but they are there. So having a space where they can actually come to get the help that they need to get back on their feet. And then an additional space, whether it be on the same property, in helping them after we've able to get them a job or get them back into the society, to be able to maintain that, to teach them how to maintain their way through managing their finances so that they don't end up back in the same situation. And thirdly, if that's third or fourth, a lot of persons in the community can't afford services. So if we can have a something where we can get mental health services, social work services, things like that, where they can come and get these services, a center where they can come and get services that they can't afford or don't have insurance to be able to do so. So those were the things that we spoke about.
Great, thank you so much. Let's move next to the clergy, faith leaders, houses of worship, nonprofits, and community-based organizations group.
Okay, thank you. It's Leslie's back. We started our conversation based upon, now that we knew the things that were being presented, we started thinking about things that we could actually have. And a few of the good things that we did, which, caught everybody's attention, was a comprehensive senior center. We really did not state which site should be, but the fact is it's needed. The second one was a building, and those in our group understood what Charlene said. It's all about providing an area. It doesn't have to be designated for one thing, but I think basically what she was trying to speak about was just providing a space that could be utilized properly. And what I mean by that, it could be for different organizations. It could be for anything. We could call it a center. We could name a center, not like the Yes We Can center, but just a center that would allow groups to come in and provide services for the community. It could be homework. It could be dance. It could be so many different things. Another thing that was stated was a police precinct, which I thought, and if we can't have a precinct, maybe a satellite police area, which would be good. We also talked about, which was a great idea, 24-hour daycare, which I thought was a wonderful idea because people do work within the 24 hours. And it's really hard for parents with children, especially small children, single parents who don't have that childcare available. This facility could provide that for them. It was, again, designated workforce housing. Another great idea was an urgent care center, which is definitely would be needed. A lot of people don't have transportation, especially the seniors, at the wee hours, that they could possibly utilize this facility to help them with their needs. Another idea was to place a name brand franchise, something that everybody recognizes, something that everybody can identify with and want to service. But that would be nice to have something like that on that strip on Prospect Avenue. The two things that we discussed was the two sites. It wasn't a part of the sites that we chose, but the first one was St. John's, and that's St. John's Baptist, which is all the way on the other end of Prospect. That needs to be redeveloped. That needs to be revamped. That needs to be supported. And the biggest one that we collaborated on, and this is where we ended our discussion and got booted off, which is a wonderful idea, is the corner of Magnolia and Prospect, where everybody congregates. And I just heard somebody discuss that. It's the importance of changing that corner will definitely change the behavior of the people in that area. Because if you're not feeding it to them, they can't have it anymore. So we have to definitely, this entire group has to change the mindset of the community, and they have to buy in because we're not going to buy back. So with that, that's my report. And lastly, I'm sorry, a bank. I'm sorry, Steve. We did say the bank, but we got cut off, so we weren't able to discuss it. So basically, I think me personally, when the group stated the redevelopment and the change of the behavior in the community, I think we should put that in the forefront. Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie. How about if we hear from our Gen Z group next?
Hello, I will be speaking for Gen Z. So in the breakout rooms, we mainly talked about healthcare and daycare and everything, basically housing. And one of the main sites that we chose out was site 4 and site 11. There was multiple sites that we chose, but in site 4, which was the water parcel, we was thinking more like an urgent care or healthcare, which is closer to home because that's where most of the houses are, and it's a big lot and there's nothing there but the water parcel. So we was thinking a housing for the community, not housing, urgent care, sorry. And then we was thinking in site 11, which is Brush Hollow Road, we was thinking there should be more houses because houses in Westbury is very rare to get and to find. So we was thinking more housing would help more people get affordable houses in Westbury that can't afford houses or aren't able to buy houses. And in site 3, we're thinking a daycare because daycare in Westbury is not very common to find. So we're thinking a daycare because most parents work and they have nowhere to leave their children. And it's closer to school, to Park Avenue School and everything, which makes it more convenient. And we were thinking a place to give out food, shelter, help out other people. But yeah, and then we thought this was an idea that came up because I don't know if Westbury has a town hall, but we was thinking we should get a town hall for our town because not many people know Westbury or know what's going on around the community. So if we create a town hall, more information will get out to more people and more events could happen in Westbury and give us more opportunities.
Let's hear from our residents ages 25 to 54 next.
Okay, that's me back again, Miss Carolina. And although I kind of missed, some of the conversation, Vanessa actually, I came back and the main focus, I think, for the group is back on the entrepreneurial opportunities development in some of these sites. One of the ideas that I know, I listed at the end, which I think is great, is for short-term leasing for small business startups, which will allow the opportunity to new business owners, right, to start getting the feeling of, okay, what it will take for you to establish your business and then eventually grow it to the point where they could become site owners. Also, there was a consideration for Broadway and Sherman location, one block past, and I'm reading from the notes Vanessa put in here. Possible acquisition and establishment of a town center for gathering, community focal point. Also, I think at the end, there was the point made about the security, especially with the new bypass on Urban Avenue, having to do with teenagers skating when, the incoming traffic slows down. And one of the recommendations was made that perhaps, there should be some sort of, again, a sports area or, like a skateboarding area within a park or one of these properties to allow this for teenagers. And so Councilwoman Russell mentioned that there's already in the works with the project that's going to happen with Martin Luther King Park. So I'm not sure if I missed anything else, but I think that was basically the focus, from the team. From the group was mostly around the entrepreneurial and then some of the feedback that we gave the first time around.
Thank you so much, Carolina. Ooh, last but not least, could we hear from our residents ages 55 and up?
I'm going to represent the group.
Thank you, Deborah.
So we had a lively debate as well, and I'm hoping that the folks will continue and fill out the survey and put all their thoughts. We came to a consensus with sites 1, 4, 11, and 3 being the priority. And when we went to the next tier, there was a strong group for sites 8 and 9, really on Prospect, the idea being that to revitalize the downtown, make it attractive, to promote people to come in and have 8 or 9 be redeveloped with some sort of commercial use. There was also a smaller contingency that felt very strongly about sites 5 and 6, having that either be residential, but owner residential, not rental residential. So whether that's row houses or single family homes. Another idea was an art park for that. But a lot of the debate was about any additional housing and have that, if there's a way for that really to be for the existing community, not to be for people to come into the community, but to really be a place where existing residents can go into this new housing. The group also talked about the senior center adult daycare and wondered if that could be a site that could be used that's developed, or maybe those are some additional programs that could be added to the Yes We Can Center if there's not a site for that. I think that was and work, I guess, in the residential workforce housing as well was brought up in that group.
Great, thank you, Deborah. So it sounds like there was a lot of lively discussion. It's interesting to hear from the different groups that there are a lot of common themes. A lot of folks had many of the same ideas regardless of the group you were in, but there was also a really exciting broad variety of ideas that was brought forward. Again, my last plug, please fill out the survey and get your friends and neighbors and families to do the same. We want all the input that we can get. And with that, thank you all so much for bearing with us. I know it was kind of a long evening. I'm going to turn it back to Councilwoman Russell to just wrap us up. And thank you again so much for participating tonight.
Thank you, Stephen, and thank you to everyone that is here tonight. We really, really appreciate the time that you spent with us this evening. Before I give my closing remarks, I'd also like to mention some of our other stakeholders that are here with us this evening. We have Rodney Keynes from our Community Development Agency, as well as our Westbury School District and Water and Fire District Commissioner. We have Robin Bowling from our Westbury School District, Leslie Francis from the North Hempstead Board of Zoning and Appeals, Mr. Ralph Kreitzman from our Community Development Agency, and Leslie Davis from the Westbury NAACP, as well as Robert Troiano, the president of the Westbury School Board. Thank you to everyone who took time from their evening to participate. We value your voice. This meeting was held to present information and collect feedback within a limited time frame. Many new ideas were shared, and we're looking forward to compiling all the information to bring back to our steering committee and to the community. This is only one piece of a larger effort, and this is why taking a survey is so important. Please continue to spread the word that there is an online survey that is still live until Friday, July 2nd. Make your voice heard and encourage your friends and family to take the survey too. These meetings are important because they guide decision-making as the town continues to apply for grants and important resources for the community. And with that, I'd like to thank the Environmental Protection Agency for selecting Newcastle to be one of only 11 recipients in the country to receive the fiscal year 2022 Multipurpose Grant Award in amount of $800,000. This competitive Brownfields Multipurpose Grant was written to dovetail onto the current $300,000 EPA assessment grant that the Planning Department is currently spearheading in the Newcastle community, as well as a $126,000 grant from the New York State for market analysis and reuse study, currently awarded to our Community Development Agency. It allows funding to be directed toward community outreach, similar to what we're undertaking right now, more environmental assessments on a wider range of sites within the Newcastle Brownfield Opportunity Area study, and clean up and remediate on sites acquired and owned by the Town of North Hempstead, CDA, and the North Hempstead Housing Authority. One of the success stories that have followed a similar path is the former blighted Grand Street School that Supervisor Bosworth alluded to earlier. This property is now the home to 76 seniors at the new Homestead Senior Apartments. Your participation in this work is important to the revitalization and sustainability of our community. So again, I thank you for being a part of the solutions in our community. And I also like to thank Howard Bassett from my office for her work in putting together this meeting tonight and all of the back end stuff that many people do not get to see. I also like to thank Dan Guillermo from our IT department, as well as Gordon Tepper and the entire communications team. Thank you all again, and we look forward to bringing the information that we received tonight back to you at a later date.